a few minutes of centering. So essentially what that means is we just want to be able to come into this space today. We want to put all of our worries and our pains and everything that's kind of going on, and we want to just pause it. Okay? So just put a pause on all the mind chatter, everything that's going on up here, just kind of let it go. Sometimes it helps to do a couple of cleansing breaths. So that's going to be our big, heavy sighing breath. So we're going to inhale deeply through our nose. Just really allowing yourself to take a deep breath in and then big exhale through the mouth. Open mouth exhale. Good. We're going to do that one more time. So nice deep breath in through the nose. And then open your mouth, big heavy sigh, let it out. And then allow your eyes to close or just take your gaze down towards the floor. And if it's available to you, I invite you to put one hand over the center of your chest, so kind of your heart center, and one hand over your low belly. And then just take a couple moments of quiet observation. So it doesn't matter which hand, just whichever one feels good for you. So as you kind of observe your breath this morning with your eyes closed, just kind of observe a few breath cycles. Without changing your breath, notice which of those hands moves first or moves more. And then notice the quality of your breath. So do your breaths feel short or long? Are you working a little bit harder to breathe today? Do you feel relaxed? So just kind of labeling or noticing the quality of your breath. And then I invite you to shift the breath into that low belly hand. See if you can allow your belly to expand and relax with each inhale and exhale. So you're doing your best to make that belly hand rise and fall. Kind of breathing into the belly hand and then gently drawing the belly button in towards the spine. So just continuing to breathe in that way. Just kind of notice how it feels when you breathe into the belly. And then maybe start to gently lengthen both sides of the breath. And today we'll make our exhale a little bit longer. So maybe inhale for 3 counts into that belly hand. And then try exhaling for 4 or 5 counts. Today I invite you to inhale a new perspective for 2022. Exhale to let go of anything that's weighing you down today. Inhaling a sense of peace. Exhaling pain or worry. And just continuing in that way, slightly longer exhale, maybe for 2 or 3 more breath cycles. And then just allow your hands to relax comfortably on your lap or your belly. Sitting up a little bit straighter in your chair. You can still have your back resting against the backrest of your chair, but take a nice deep breath in. This time, raise your arms up over your head as far as you feel comfortable. And then when you exhale, press the hands together at heart center and just pause briefly here, slightly tucking your chin down to your heart. Create an intention for your practice today And maybe an intention for 2022. Not a resolution, just something that is meaningful to you. Something maybe you would like to work on, something for yourself. Bringing that into your heart. And then one more time, nice deep breath in, this time sitting up a little bit taller, reaching your arms all the way up towards the ceiling, scooting your hips forward in the chair. As you exhale, release your arms down. Good. This time, as you inhale, take your arms out nice and wide, taking up a lot of space. As you exhale, release your arms down. Good. One more time. Inhale, raising both arms up. Go ahead and clasp your hands up over your head here. And then on an exhale, just tip to either side and just pause there, kind of stretching into the side of the torso. Good. Coming back up to center, reaching up as far as you feel comfortable, and then exhale, switch sides. Nice, easy torso stretch. Good. Keep breathing, doing your best not to hold your breath. And then nice deep breath in, raise your arms all the way up towards the sky. As you exhale, press your hands forward, round out the middle part of your back, and drop your chin to your chest. So separating out between the shoulder blades, pause and breathe. And really take some mindful breaths here. So inhaling and exhaling into that middle part of your back. Think about allowing the shoulders to kind of relax down away from your ears. Good. Inhale, sit up nice and tall, sweep your arms up over your head. As you exhale, let your hands fall down. And then bring your hands to either side of your chair. Sitting up nice and tall, kind of grabbing, if you can, grabbing kind of underneath your chair or even walking your hands back behind you slightly. I want you to pull your shoulder blades together. So just kind of practice opening up the chest and shoulders. So you're going to pull your shoulder blades together. And then once you have those shoulder blades together in the back, lift your chin slightly and just pause and breathe into the center of your chest. And then as you exhale, slowly release down. Go ahead and take your feet out a little bit wider in your chair. So maybe a little bit wider than hips distance apart. Take a nice deep breath in. Bring those arms all the way out to a T shape, pulling your shoulder blades together. And then as you exhale, reach for the floor. So you don't have to touch the floor, but just reach in the direction of the floor, kind of allowing your low back to release. Coming up slowly, taking a nice deep breath in, come all the way back to that T shape, opening up your heart. This time, lift your chin. Opening up that front body, coming out of that rounded shoulder posture. Good, big exhale, forward bend, reaching for the floor. So pull your belly button in slightly. Think about allowing your back to round. Nice deep breath in, walk or sweep your arms up, back to that T shape, fingers spread wide, chin lifts, heart opens, shoulder blades pull together. Good, big exhale, reach for the floor. So you're reaching in the direction of the floor. If you don't touch the floor, it doesn't matter. Nice deep breath in, one more time, all the way up to that T shape, shoulder blades together. Good, this time as you exhale, keep your arms in that T shape. And we're going to turn our chest to the right. So you're going to turn your chest to the right. And then I want you to take that left hand and just set it on the outside of your right leg. And then see if you can look back at your right hand. So this is a nice spine twist. What I want you to think about as you twist is think about lifting up through the top of your head and twisting from that low belly. Good, nice deep breath in. Come back to center, arms in a T, spread those fingers nice and wide. Same thing, you're gonna lead with your chest. This time you're gonna turn towards the left. And when you can't turn anymore, you're gonna set that front arm on the outside of that left leg and then reach your left arm back. I got rights and lefts here. Looking back at that back arm, sitting up as tall as you can. Think about the top of the head lifting up towards the ceiling. Your eyes are following towards that back hand. Good. Nice deep breath in. Come back to that T shape. We're going to do it one more time. So leading with your heart, you're going to twist to that right wall. And then once you're there, you're going to set that front hand on the outside of your right leg. Look back at your right hand. So don't force the rotation. You want to do as much rotation as is available to you, but you're not forcing it. Eyes are always going to follow that back hand so we can have the twist occurring the entire length of our spine. Nice deep breath in. T shape. Spread those fingers nice and wide. Chest lifts. You're going to turn your chest now to the second side. So turning towards the left wall. Placing that front hand on the outside of that left leg, reaching your left arm back, looking at it, sitting as tall as you can, breathing in. As you exhale, rotating from the low belly. Good. Slowly coming back to center, releasing those arms. Take a few shoulder rolls up and back. So we're going to loosen up through the neck and the tops of the shoulders. So when we do this, we're trying to raise the shoulders up and then send them down and back, allowing that movement to kind of come from the tops of the shoulders versus the arms. Good. And then if it's available to you, I want you to try going the other way. So you're going to lift your shoulders up and then forward. So that's kind of probably a little bit more familiar, that rounded shoulder posture that we all kind of get in, because that's what happens with gravity as we're sitting throughout the day. And then we're going to finish with the shoulders up and back. So sit tall, raise those shoulders up, and then send them down your back body. Good. Think about really letting go of tension that you feel in the tops of the shoulders. Good. And then the last time, raise them up towards your ears. Hold them up there slightly. Notice that tension that you feel. Breathe in. And then as you exhale, let them fall down as far as they can away from your earlobes. Good. Step your feet in so they're more like hips distance apart. And I want you to either put your hands underneath your thighs or grab a hold of your chair. So you're keeping your neck as long as you can. And then pull your head in so your head and neck is in line with the rest of your spine. Good. Nice deep breath in. Lift your chin up towards the ceiling. As you exhale, come to neutral and then chin to your chest. Inhale, look straight ahead or chin up. Exhale, head to neutral or chin to your chest. Inhale, neutral, chin up. Exhale, stay here, eyes straight ahead. Good. Sitting tall, you're going to let your right ear drop towards your right shoulder. Breathing into the side of your neck. Good. If it is available to you, you can take your left hand and just kind of reach out for the floor. Maybe circle out the wrist or open and close the hand, or you can keep it tucked under if that feels good. So we're working this side of the neck. We're stretching out this side of the neck. So we're trying to bring our ear to our shoulder, keeping our nose forward. If we need a different stretch for those side neck muscles, we might tuck the chin down towards our armpit or reach it up towards the ceiling. So this is pretty individualized depending on how your neck feels. So if you like just holding that side stretch, you might keep it over there. You might kind of move it slightly between those two positions. Just kind of connecting with your head and neck area here. And then really think about the breath coming into the side of the neck. And when you feel ready, you're gonna slowly come back to that neutral spine position. Good. Inhale, think about lifting the top of your head up. Once again, aligning your spine. Good. Raise the shoulders up towards the ears, even if it's just slightly. And then as you exhale, send them down and back. Sitting on your hands again or grabbing the bottoms of your chair. Breathe in, and then let your left ear fall to your left shoulder. So the goal there is to let your shoulder stay down so you can feel that stretch through the side of the neck. And then from there, you might reach out that right hand, open and close it or circle it out if that feels good, but just keeping that shoulder down. And then you might tip your chin down towards your left armpit or up towards the ceiling. So do what works for your body here. These are all just options that you can try if it feels good for you. But we're just looking to find some length in the side of the neck here. Good, and then slowly come back up to that neutral position. Release your hands and come into seated mountain pose. So seated mountain pose is going to be your butt scooted towards the front end of the chair. You're gonna use that open heart position, so palms are forward. You're nice and lengthened across your collarbones. Your spine is long. So lots of our yoga practice is about spine alignment and posture. So think about the top of your head lifting up. Think about your feet grounding down. So notice your feet. Can you connect to the ground through all four corners of each foot? And if that seems hard to you, maybe do a little pedaling out of the feet. And you might even think about kind of shifting your weight from one sit bone to the other if you feel like you're weighting one side more heavily. So coming into that nice neutral position, we're gonna move through a half sun salutation in sitting today. So on your breath in, you're gonna raise your arms up. If you want, little back bend. As you exhale, you're gonna bring your hands to heart center and take a forward bend. So rounding your back, forearms to the thighs, or reach for the floor. On your next inhale, lift up halfway to a flat back. So I'm still gonna kind of keep my back hinged or my trunk hinged forward, but my tummy is in, my back is flat. Then as I exhale, I'm gonna round my back again. I'm gonna press into my feet and come up slowly, raising my arms all the way up over my head, little back bend if I want. And then as I exhale, hands to heart center. So linking movement with breath. We'll do it again. Inhale, raising the arms up, little back bend. Exhale, hands to heart center, forward fold. Let your back round. Good. Inhale, lift up halfway, flat back, tummy in. Exhale, round and fold. Relax your neck. Inhale, press into your feet, come all the way up. Look up, little back bend if you want. Exhale, hands to heart center. Good. Again, inhale, raising up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, press into your feet. Come all the way up. Look up, little back bend. Exhale, hands to heart center. Good, one more time. Inhale, raising the arms up. Little back bend if you want. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, press into your feet. Come all the way up. Look up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Good, take a pause there. And then what we're gonna do is go ahead and grab your, take your hands and grab underneath your right thigh. And then I want you to try to gently pull your right knee in towards your chest. So we're gonna warm up a little bit through the hip, and then we're gonna do some hip openers. So knee comes in and out, and then if it's available to you, I want you to kind of make some big circles with your knee. So this is, like I said, everything we do is individualized. So if you have a good hip motion, you might have a very large hip circle. If you're restricted in the hips, then just do what feels good for your body. Good. And then we're gonna try bringing that leg, so we're gonna take our right leg and we're gonna cross it over the left leg. So instead of just crossing it like this, see if you can kind of pull it across your body, okay? So we're gonna keep a little bit of a bend in the hip, and then we're gonna drive that knee towards the opposite shoulder. And what's that gonna do for us? That's gonna give us a little stretch through the butt muscle and the outer hip, okay? So you might kind of hook your arms underneath your thigh, but the goal is you're kind of driving that knee across your body at a diagonal. You try that? Still sitting up nice and tall, so you're kind of targeting that right outer hip and butt area. Good. Then I am going to have you cross at the knees and sit up nice and tall. You're going to take your left hand and you're going to set it on the outside of that top leg. And then go ahead and just turn to the left. Sorry, the right. Your right. So turning to the right. And as you're turning to the right, I want you to still think about kind of pulling that knee across towards your opposite shoulder. And then you're going to turn and look back over that right shoulder. Nice. So kind of stretching out the hip, rotating the spine a little bit, sitting up as tall as you can. Good, and then come back to center. Keep your legs crossed, sit tall. Now you're going to turn the other way, counter twist. So not feeling as much of a stretch through the hip there, but still rotating the spine. Yep, beautiful. So just kind of trying to turn your chest towards that side wall. Good, and then slowly come back to center. If you're able to take that top leg and move it over into that figure 4 position, I invite you to do that. Remember that you can use a strap or a towel if you need a little bit of leverage here. So this would be where you would grab a hold of your ankle. So we were like this. Now we're going to try to bring that foot towards the opposite thigh. So if you need to have a strap or a towel, you're going to grab it around the ankle there or the foot and then set it on the leg. And then once you do that, wherever you are with that foot, I want you to go ahead and rotate out that ankle or kind of circle it out or point and flex the foot. The other thing that you can do with your foot is kind of curl your toes and then open them up. So you're kind of crunching your toes and then opening them wide, scrunching and opening. So just to kind of activate those small muscles of the feet. Good, take a nice deep breath in, and then as it's available to you, just kind of bending over those legs, letting your back round a little bit and your chin fall to your chest. If it works for you and you're more flexible, you can reach your arms towards the floor. Slowly bringing your trunk back up, taking that top leg, uncrossing the legs, put your feet together and then just allow your knees to fall out to the side. So kind of an inner thigh and groin stretch. So feet are together, knees are out to the side. Sitting up nice and tall. Good. As you exhale, slowly release. Bring your knees back to center. Good. This time we're going to grab underneath the left thigh. So just like we did on the first side, you can bend, bringing that knee in towards your chest, or you can start to make some big circles through your hip. One direction and then the other direction. Once again, just kind of listening to your body. Maybe you have less or more motion on this side. And then we're going to pull that leg across our body, kind of at a diagonal towards the opposite shoulder. So we're going to get a stretch through that glute and outer hip on the left leg. So you might not, depending on how flexible you are in the hip, you might need to pull that knee over a little bit more. If you already feel a stretch, we're looking to stretch kind of that outer hip and glute area. And then as it feels available to you, go ahead and cross at the knees and sit up nice and tall. We'll take our right hand and set it on the outside of that left leg, and then just start to draw that knee across, once again, towards the opposite shoulder. And then we're gonna turn towards the left this time. So we're drawing our knee across, we're turning and rotating, just kind of doing what feels good here. Looking back as you turn, so you're turning to that left side, looking back behind you. And then as you exhale, slowly release. Take a counter twist. So that just means you're turning the other way, not getting as much stretch through the glute and the outer hip on that top leg, but sort of doing what feels good for your body. And then slowly coming back to center, coming into that seated pigeon pose. So this is where you can use that towel again or strap, making that figure 4 shape with that top leg. So you're going to allow your hip and knee to relax out to the side, okay? So you're resting that ankle on your opposite thigh, and then you can start to just make some motion with your foot and ankle. So you can point and flex the foot, or make some ankle circles. You can scrunch the toes and then open them up nice and wide. So just kind of getting some blood flow there around the feet, around the ankles, just kind of doing what feels good for you. And then once again, sitting tall, lining up the spine, and then exploring just a little bit of a forward bend. So hinging forward over your legs. And once again, maybe you feel more flexible with this hip. Maybe you feel more restricted. So we're not forcing the motion, we're just kind of doing what we can, kind of coming to our comfortable edge. So I hate to say doing what we can tolerate, because we don't necessarily want to tolerate it. We want to be able to find a spot where it feels like a good stretch, but not pain or discomfort. If it works for you, you can kind of reach those arms in the direction of the floor, let your back relax, find some length there. And just continuing to breathe. And then when you're ready, slowly bringing your trunk back up, relaxing that top leg and just kind of marching out the knees a little bit. Good. We're going to do some additional poses in standing, but I'm also going to allow you to stay seated if you need to, so I'll show you in sitting as well. So decide if you would like to sit or stand today. If you would like to stand, go ahead and come to standing. I'm going to show you what we're doing in sitting first. So sitting or standing, you're going to come into mountain pose. Feet are going to be about hips distance apart, palms are forward again. And then we're going to move through some seated or standing cat and cow. So on an inhale, when you're seated, you're going to just open up the chest, lift the chin, sit as tall as you can. As you exhale, you're going to tuck and round, seated cat. And we're gonna alternate between those two poses. So in standing, you're gonna inhale, look forward, tail is up. As you exhale, kind of stay tucked, chin to the chest, back rounds. Inhale, look forward, chin up, tail up. Exhale, tuck and round, seated cat. So try to get those movements going with your breath. Inhale, seated cow, tail up, chin up. Exhale, tuck and round, seated cat. Good, one more time. Inhale, sit or stand tall, tail up. Exhale, tuck and round, seated cat. Good, then just come to a neutral position halfway through, coming back into that seated or standing mountain pose. And then we're gonna go ahead and take our legs out nice and wide. So you're gonna take your legs out nice and wide, whether you're sitting or standing, okay? I'll show you both. We're gonna keep our left toes facing forward. We're gonna turn our right toes to the right wall. So big base of support, so your feet are nice and wide. So right toes to the right wall, left toes forward. Good. Nice deep breath in. As you exhale, I want you to just go ahead and bend that right knee. So your knee is kind of coming over your ankle. So if you're sitting, you're just like this. If you're standing, you're up here. So same posture. You want your hips and your shoulders to be towards the front though, towards me. So see, if I'm sitting in my chair, I didn't turn my shoulders at all. I just took my legs out nice and wide. Good. On a nice deep breath in, lengthen your spine. And then I want you to raise your arms up to shoulder height. Nice long wingspan, warrior two. Good, bring your eyes up towards me. Check your body position here. So even if I'm sitting, I'm gonna scoot way towards the front of my chair so I can have support, but I wanna be able to bring my legs out nice and wide so I can open my hips. Good, pause and breathe. Think about reaching fingertips to fingertips, and go ahead and take your gaze, look over your right hand. So you're using that neck motion a little bit. Good, we're gonna hold and breathe. If the tops of your shoulders, you feel like you're working too hard through the tops of the shoulders, remember, let them fall down your back. So it might even help to shrug your shoulders up and then really release them down. Good, looking over your right hand, belly is in, tailbone tucks under. So you would like your shoulders to track right over your pelvis, okay? So try not to lean too much to one side. Good, pause and breathe, belly is in. Relax your arms down. Good. This time, I'm gonna have you turn your back foot in slightly, and now you're gonna turn your shoulders so you're looking towards your right foot. Okay? So if you're seated, you're gonna get that back leg as straight as you can. If you need to bend it a little bit, that's fine. So you're feeling a little bit of a stretch through that hip flexor. If you're standing, we're gonna come into warrior one, okay? So warrior one to the right, knee is bent on that right leg, and then one or both arms can reach up. One or both arms can reach up if you're sitting or standing. Shoulders over your hips. Good, you're turning your shoulders so you're looking towards that. Remember that right foot was to the right wall. Now you're turning your shoulders that way too. Good, relax the tops of your shoulders. Good, pause and breathe. And we're gonna hold this for a little bit. We're gonna focus on our posture and our spine alignment, okay? Think about softening the tops of your shoulders. Good, you're turning the shoulders towards that right wall. Good, beautiful. Very as you exhale, release your arms down. Go ahead and turn back to face forward. Toe heel your feet in so they're touching again, and then butterfly the legs a few times. If you're standing, you can just toe heel your feet in and kind of pedal out your feet. Okay, we're gonna do those same two poses on the second side. So first we're gonna come into seated or standing mountain pose, so palms are forward. We'll take a nice deep breath in, raise your arms up. As you exhale, bring the hands to heart center. Good, again, inhale, raise your arms up. This time, I want you to take a steeple grip. So you're gonna interlace all your fingers, but your first finger and your thumb. Point those fingers up towards the ceiling, and then we'll take a tip to the left. So side stretch. Good. Nice deep breath in, point your fingers up towards the ceiling, lengthen your spine. Exhale, tip to the right. Good, nice deep breath in, raise your arms all the way up. As you exhale, unclasp your hands, let your arms come down. Good, step those feet out nice and wide again. And this time we're gonna take our left foot, so this side, we're gonna turn our left foot all the way to face the left wall, and we're gonna have our right toes facing straight ahead, okay? So left toes to the left wall, okay? See if you can straighten that back leg, but your toes are still pointing forward. Shoulders are over your hips. Good, once you have your legs in position, you're gonna bend that left knee over your ankle. Shoulders are still over your hips, belly is in. Good. So get that whole spine aligned first, get your leg position, and then when you're ready, inhale, arms up to shoulder height, turn and look over your left hand. So I want you to think about reaching fingertips to fingertips. Beautiful, this is your warrior two. If you're doing this in standing, take a gaze down at that front or that left knee. Make sure it's over your ankle, pulling your belly in. Yeah, and if you need to take a break with your arms, you can always take a little arm breather and then bring them back up. So really think about keeping your neck long, turning your hand or turning your neck over that left hand so you're looking that way. Relaxing your face and jaw, keeping your belly button in. Beautiful. Couple more breaths here. This is warrior two. And then as you exhale, release your arms down. Good, go ahead and turn your shoulders now to the left wall. So that back knee might kind of bend a little bit. We're still keeping our shoulders over our hips, making our way towards warrior one. And an inhale, raise both arms up towards your ears, but let your shoulders soften down. So in standing, you're gonna kick that right foot in just slightly, knee over the ankle on the front leg. So depending on where you're at, you're probably gonna feel a stretch through the front of that hip. So that's kind of the point. So if you're sitting and you need to bend that back knee, that's fine. If you're standing, your back knee is straight, but you're still pressing the front of that hip, your right hip, forward. Relax the tops of your shoulders and breathe. Maybe lifting your gaze slightly up towards the ceiling. Relax your face and jaw. Good, and then slowly release your arms down. Go ahead and turn your shoulders to face back in. If you're standing, toe heel your feet back in. If you're seated, bring your legs back in and just kind of pedal out the feet a little bit. Good, go ahead and come around and take a seat in your chair if that works for you. And then we're going to take our hands down, or we're going to take our forearms down to our thighs. Relax our head and neck, maybe even allowing our hands or our forehead to relax on our hands for a supported forward bend. So I want you to think about kind of rounding your back a little bit, letting that low back release. And then reconnect with your intention that you set both for your practice today, but also for this upcoming year. Return the breath back to the lowest part of your belly. So inhaling and exhaling into the belly. And just take a couple moments to notice how you feel right now. Quiet the mind once again, quiet the body, and then when you're feeling ready, slowly bringing your trunk back up. We're going to take a counter pose by reclining back over our backrest of our chair, if that works for us, and just kind of allowing the palms to be open, kind of a seated final relaxation posture, chin lifts, heart opens, however that feels good for you to do, so modify as you need to. I'm just kind of allowing our heart to be open, chest and shoulders wide, lifting the chin up. And then as you exhale, slowly releasing back down, coming back to a neutral spine position. Feet are connected to the floor. Take a nice deep breath in, raise your arms all the way up. As your feet are on the floor, lift your heels up. Good, and then as you exhale, release your arms down, let your heels relax. Good, one more time, inhale, raise your arms up. This time, try lifting your toes up, heels on the ground. Good, as you exhale, release your arms, release your feet. Come into a relaxed posture. So allow your back to relax against the chair. You can bring your hands back to your belly or just relax them in your lap. Might be a good time to grab a quick drink of water if you haven't done that for a while. And then we're going to come into a guided relaxation. So I invite you to take a comfortable seat in your chair, whatever feels available to you today. Notice your breath, and then do your best to just release all thoughts. I'm going to call out different areas of the body, different spaces in your body, and I invite you to bring your attention or your focus and your breath to those places. Notice those areas, and then do your best to relax that spot. So just settling into your chair, allowing your eyes to close or lowering your gaze. Bringing your awareness to the center of your forehead. The space between your eyebrows. Your jaw. The base of the throat. The heart center. The tip of your right shoulder. Your right elbow. Your right wrist. The tip of your right thumb. First finger, middle finger, ring finger, pinky finger. Right wrist, right elbow, tip of your right shoulder, heart center, tip of your left shoulder, left elbow, left wrist, tip of your left thumb, pointer finger, middle finger, ring finger, pinky finger, left wrist, left elbow, tip of the left shoulder, heart center, navel center, low belly center, right hip, right knee, right ankle, toes of the right foot, right ankle, right knee, right hip, low belly center, left hip, left knee, left ankle, toes of the left foot, left ankle, left knee, left hip, low belly center, navel center, heart center, base of the throat, center of the forehead.